Mr. Allen, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairwoman Fox. Secretary Sue, thank you for being, I'm right here, okay? Thank you for being here with us today. The DOL received a sizable number of comments on its fiduciary rule, even though the comment period was far too short. Many comments call for significant changes to the proposal, and many call for the proposal's withdrawal. DOL has emphasized that changes were made to the proposal based on the input it received. However, Assistant Secretary Lisa Gomez said in the New York Times there is nothing in these clarifications or changes that one should interpret as a watering down or a real change in the position of the proposal. Which is it? Were changes made to reflect stakeholder input on the rule, or was input ignored because DOL had already decided the desired outcome?
So, Congressman, putting aside the whether we ignored, I think that both things could be true, that we take into account comments, and we do. I could go through each of the rules that we have finalized, and we not only take comments, we also respond to all of the comments. And in many of the rules that we do...
Why did Ms. Gomez make this, I mean, are you familiar with Ms. Undersecretary Gomez's quote to the New York Times? I mean, in other words, this short comment period, it was there only to make it appear that there was no predetermined outcome on this, and yet you have these comment periods to understand how these things are going to affect the business community out there. Let me move on. Georgia represents around 30,000 franchise establishments, and it represents over 315,000 employees. Recently, the National Labor Relations Board issued a final rule systematically reversing the course of what constitutes joint employer. This rule had previously cost franchises, small businesses over $33.3 billion and a loss of 376,000 jobs. The last time you appeared before the committee, you did not provide a clear response as to whether the Department of Labor plans to issue a similar rule under the Fair Labor Standards Act. After almost a year, can you now commit to no rulemaking process as it relates to joint employer?
I believe last time I said that it was not on our regulatory agenda. I will repeat that again because it is still not on our regulatory agenda. As you know, the NLRB is a separate body, but the Department of Labor does not have such a rule on our proposals. I do just want to say, Congressman, that when it comes to our rulemaking, we do not approach it with predetermined outcomes. We take the comment period very seriously. You will see, I mean, I don't even know which rule to try to give an example of on this, but one way that you will see it is sometimes the timing of when rules go into effect are also based on the feedback we get, including from the regulated community, about what it would take in order to
Well, again, we
implement.
have the information from the New York Times, which doesn't exactly match your what's going on there. Yeah, I want to follow up on a line of questioning that I've not been able to get an adequate answer for almost a year now. When you testified in front of this committee last June, I raised my concerns about DOL's amendments to the Qualified Plan Asset Managers, the QPAM exemption, which would disrupt and unnecessarily burden workers and retirees' retirement plans who rely on QPAMs to manage the daily operations and investment of employee benefit plans. Unfortunately, when I brought this to your attention last year, I did not get a straight answer from you, and today I'm still trying to get a satisfactory response. Again, let me ask you, has the Department of Labor conducted a detailed and realistic cost-benefit analysis of its amendments to the QPAM exemption?
Congressman, I believe that rule has been finalized, and we always conduct a financial analysis of the impact of our rules when we do them. Our rules in that space are entirely meant to make sure that the retirement security of working Americans, which is often the largest savings that somebody has, often saved year after year, paycheck by paycheck, that is secure. And so we do analyses in all of our rules that are public. They're part of the public notice
Well,
rule.
we need that information, and I have an additional question on apprenticeships. I'll submit that to you in writing. I'm out of time, and I yield back.